Hey guys, welcome or welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Jamie and this will be a reading for Pisces. This could resonate if you have a Pisces sun, moon, rising, or Venus placement, but it's definitely not going to resonate for everyone. You'll know usually by the title, but if the reading feels wrong for you, then it's just not yours, so disregard it. We're also going to disregard the gender of the cards here. I'll pull cards like King, Queen, Emperor, and Empress. Those cards actually describe a personality and have nothing to do with, well, nothing to do with sex. So let's just leave all that behind. You'll definitely know who we're talking about. If you want more readings, you can subscribe to the channel to get notified when I post. I also would be grateful for that. And I offer a membership. If you're interested in that, you can check out the perks by hitting the join button. And I do offer private personals to my members. So I'm just going to let the oracle lead the way. We'll clarify with the tarot, and I'll grab some advice at the end. So we have reconnect, secrets lurk in the captive shadows deep in the woods. Humility, a modest or low view of one's own importance. Too busy winning. And cloud of release. I release my stress and worry. Like a cloud, it floats away, and all that's left is stillness. In that stillness, I am held by a loving God. The overall energy is the Lovers, Gemini energy. We have Justice, Libra energy. The Ace of Wands, the Fool, Aquarius energy. The Empress, Libra, Taurus. The Queen of Swords, the Two of Pentacles. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Four of Pentacles. I think that there's someone in your life and you've kind of like figured out that you'll never truly know who they are. This person could have like kind of many faces. And I don't mean that in like a two-faced way. I just mean like they always are able to surprise you. There's always something going on in the background, and I think you feel like it's fair to cut this person off. A lot of you are looking at, a new relationship. Maybe for some of you this isn't love. Maybe this is like a job, like someone that you do business with, a partner or something, where there's just always something going on and you're tired of it and you're just ready to step out and do your own thing. But I feel like for most of you, this is a relationship that you're just tired of being concerned with. Because I feel like you're good by yourself, and that's like the biggest threat here is, somebody doesn't have anything to hold you on. So if they're not being honest, if they're not coming with what you're looking for, then I think you just won't waste your time. It just seems to me like you need, in your opinion, this person can't give you what you need because they don't come with like balance. I just think there is a struggle of power between the two of you. I think that this person may be really controlling, or the situation could just feel like it's really holding you back. And I think you're just tired of the energy itself. I think that you've tried to set boundaries with this person. I think that you've tried different things. And I even feel like, at some point in time, you really, it's not even at some point in time, all this time you kept prioritizing this person or putting them above yourself. And I feel like maybe they just fucked up too many times. Because it seems like the problem here is secrets. It's like, you always think the best of this person and you absolutely try, and the next thing you know, there's something else coming out about them again. They're getting exposed for something yet again. Now, what I do want to say is that I don't feel like it's an easy decision. This is more like I want to say, a spiteful decision. It's kind of like, let's say you found somebody cheating on you for like the fourth fucking time now, and you're just tired of it, and you're like, I'm gonna go do me. And it's not even because, you want new love or something. You're just not trying to get trampled on anymore. And there's a little karmic retribution to that, like, you can have what you keep giving to me. Feel that. I think this is more out of anger, but it's a step in the right direction. Like, I really feel like whoever this person is, it's just been really back and forth and off and on. And, they may even involve other people. They don't really bring any peace to your life. They just bring a bunch of bullshit to your life, and you feel like it's best to just kind of get up out of there and go do something else. I feel like the go do something else is out of anger, and it's a solid thought right now. Because the Four of Pentacles is like you still holding on to the situation. So I feel like, this is pretty fresh. The World, the Ace of Cups, the Sun, Leo energy. The Seven of Swords at the bottom of the deck. Like, I feel like you're angry and you're still holding on to what happened here, but you're not fucking delusional, Like, I think you've already been through it a few times with this person. To me, the world can sometimes be cycles. And it's like, you start things off again and everything's good for a little while and you're happy, and then boom, out of nowhere, this motherfucker's plotting and scheming and scamming. There is never any, I want to say, consistency with this person. You can't trust to have anything long term where you're not melting down like every once in a while because they just, I don't know. I think there's some type of accountability here where it's like, basically, I've enabled this behavior and so it won't stop. And so instead I just need to go do something else now. But Like, I feel like there's an acceptance that something is over, but it's not like as simple as, actually being over what has happened here. Someone's like really hurt and they're looking to sort of be distracted, get their payback, and try to move on. That's where we're at here, I feel like some of you feel like a clown a little bit because it's like, again, it's just not the first time. For some of you, it's not even the second or third time. Like, this has just been like a repetitive thing, and you can't figure out why you keep trying to trust this person. I mean, I think part of like grieving a relationship is consistently attempting to work it out when there is nothing to be fixed. Like a strong boundary has been crossed, and like even if two people tried to work it out, it's like the trust will never be there anyway. And sometimes it's true, like what we do keep letting a person do, they'll continue to do because they haven't had any consequences, But again, somebody else kind of allowing these things to happen is somebody who's trying to not grieve the actual loss of that relationship because, well, it's painful. But I feel like this is still like a little bit on the side of not wanting to grieve this relationship and maybe even just be distracted by another one. So be careful of that. Because this to me doesn't look genuine, like, hey, I'm ready for another relationship. This is, I want to be out here and be seen with another person because I know you're watching me, and bitch, I want you to feel the way you made me feel. Which I think is fair. I'm not one to ever step in the way and be like, hey, don't do that, Some people, they gotta fucking learn. But, is it going to be healthy for you in the long run? Is it something you want to do? Or is it just a distraction? What do they actually want to happen here? Eight of Swords, the Ten of Swords, the Three of Swords, the Ten of Cups. What's crazy is that I think I'm here to say a lot of you have allowed this person in and out of your life a lot. Like when I say cycles, I mean cycles. But like if we're being really honest here, and I don't think like if somebody else, like if your best friend asked you how you felt about this person, you would tell them that you wanted them to eat shit and die. But underneath it all, you really wish that this person would actually stop betraying you, stop hurting you, and really like commit to you. I think that you have really deep emotions for this person, and there really was love there. I think it's confused now, we're not sure, but there definitely was love there. I think that for some of you, love this person for a huge chunk of your adult life, and it just doesn't make sense to you why they come back if they're just gonna fucking do it again. I think that it's hard to accept the ending with this person because there never really has to be one. They always come back around, but like the intentions, you just can't understand why the intentions are never good. I feel like there's also kind of a cycle with this too, because if somebody kind of maybe more than one time decides that they're just gonna like revenge cheat, and then it just turns into a relationship full of that shit. Maybe some of you are like kind of dealing with some of that, and it just started to get disgustingly toxic for you. But not everybody. But definitely for everybody, it's just constantly finding out shit about this person that you can't actually deal with. and at the same time just being madly in love with them. And that is actually really hard. Okay. Let's grab some advice. The Chariot, Cancer energy, the Eight of Pentacles. Yep. Well, we have the Chariot, the Eight of Pentacles, and then a time for healing, Balsamic Moon. It's time to move on from this and just work on yourself here. You know, I feel like it is saying, like, I feel like somebody is, like, bitter and they want to, like, seek their revenge or whatever, but I would only do that if it's actually going to benefit you in some type of way. For some people, getting their lick back, it helps them with something. For some people, afterwards, it just feels worse, or it just further complicates things later. But I feel like somebody's in that, like, that deep hurt stage where they just can't, they don't want to be alone right now, and they kind of can't deal with what's actually happening. And that can be hard to make, like, the correct decisions in this time. But according to the cards, in order to move on, you're going to have to actually work some things out with yourself here. You're going to have to truly accept that something is over, grieve it, work through all of that, and then start a relationship. Because we don't want to involve other people, hurt ourselves, hurt them, when we're still madly in love with someone else. You can't use people as a pawn in a game. It is hard to sit alone when you feel like this, though, but it's so important. You know, if you start to feel super lonely, take a hot shower, a warm bath, you know, do some things to really, like, offset that energy, but don't give into, I feel like, you know, like a pattern of misfortune based off of an in-the-moment emotion. I think that's kind of what the clouds are trying, the clouds, cloud of release, the cards are trying to say here, you know. Sometimes, you know, and this card is a lot about sitting in that still energy and dealing with the emotions that are there. Because it's grieving, so it's going to be really tough. There's different stages to it, you know, and this is just part of that journey, but I feel like you're able to accept more. You're not, like, in this delusional fantasy about who this person is and what they can do. I just feel like it's still, there's a lot of love still there. And instead of denying it, I think that it's just important to sit with those feelings and really work that out. All right, I'll see you guys soon.